the desert wind howled a mournful song across the sun-baked sands of Egypt, a dirge for a bygone era where life and death intertwined in a macabre dance. Deep within the necropolis, in caverns carved from living rock that echoed with the whispers of forgotten prayers, a god unlike any other held his vigil. Anubis, the jackal-headed guardian of the underworld. Before the rise of Osiris, when the pyramids were young and the art of mummification a nascent science, Anubis reigned supreme. Epithets like "he who is upon his mountain" and "lord of the sacred land" resonated through the vast cemeteries, those sprawling cities of the deceased. Here, shrouded in an aura of mystery as deep as the desert night, Anubis ensured the bodies of the dead were preserved, their journey to the afterlife meticulously prepared. He was a being of duality, existing in two forms, each carrying a potent symbolism. Often he appeared as a majestic black canine, a jackal with tall, pointed ears that twitched with otherworldly awareness and a bushy tail that thumped a rhythm against the cold stone floor. The black fur resonated with the Egyptians on two levels. It mirrored the dark, preserved skin of a mummified body, a stark reminder of the earthly journey's end. But it also held the essence of the fertile black mud of the Nile River, the source of life itself, hinting at the promise of a new beginning. Yet, unlike the playful desert jackals that scavenged the fringes of civilization, Anubis' eyes held a chilling intelligence, a gaze that seemed to pierce through the veil separating the living from the dead. At other times, Anubis appeared as a man with a jackal head, a powerful image that merged the human capacity for reason and justice with the keen senses and unwavering loyalty of the jackal. This jackal mask, with its movable jaws that seemed to snap shut on the secrets of the underworld, featured prominently in funerary rituals. Perhaps it was Anubis himself, cloaked in a physical form for the benefit of mortals, overseeing the sacred ceremonies with his otherworldly gaze. But for some priests, the sight of the jackal mask sent shivers down their spines. Did the movable jaws represent a judgmental bite, or something more sinister, the gnashing of teeth hungering for the souls of the recently departed? Anubis' role wasn't confined to the physical preservation of the dead. He held the esteemed position of judge during the Old Kingdom, a time when the veil between the living and the dead was thinner. In a grand ceremony held in the flickering torchlight of an underground chamber, the hearts of the deceased were weighed against the feather of Mythology truth. Anubis, with his keen sense of justice and an unnerving ability to see through deception, ensured fairness in this crucial ritual. His presence, a stoic mixture of canine and human, served as a stark reminder of the consequences that awaited those who lived a life devoid of truth and balance. However, as the cult of Osiris rose in prominence, Anubis' role as judge transitioned to the powerful god of the underworld himself. Yet, Anubis' importance remained undiminished. The whispers in the Necropolis spoke of the Book of the Dead, an ancient Egyptian guide to the afterlife. Here, etched onto papyrus in intricate hieroglyphs, Anubis was depicted presiding over the scales in which hearts were weighed, his jackal head seeming to sniff out any hint of falsehood. While Osiris delivered the final verdict, Anubis remained the silent guardian, a watchful presence ensuring the scales remained balanced. The origins of Anubis were shrouded in mystery, as deep and unsettling as the tombs he protected. Different sources offered conflicting tales, each adding another layer of intrigue to the Jackal God's mythology. According to the Greek writer Plutarch, Anubis was the accidental son of Osiris and Nephthys, born from a forbidden union veiled in darkness. Yet other texts whispered of various goddesses as his mother Bastet, the cat goddess, or even a cow goddess, each with their own connection to the mysteries of life and death. Another intriguing aspect of Anubis iconography was the Imiut fetish. This peculiar object, consisting of the stuffed skin of a headless animal tied to a pole and resting in a pot, was originally associated with an earlier god named Imiut. Its connection to Anubis remained unclear, a cryptic symbol hinting at a forgotten past and the evolution of beliefs in the Necropolis. Some scholars believed it wasn't just a forgotten relic, but a conduit, a channel for a darker aspect of Anubis' power. The stuffed skin, devoid of a head and thus lacking its own identity, could be imbued with the essence of a condemned soul, trapping it in a perpetual state of undeath, forever bound to serve Anubis' will. Fear crept through the Necropolis, chilling the hearts of even the most stoic priests. Was Anubis not a protector, but a warden, a jailer guarding a necropolis overflowing with restless spirits under his control? These questions gnawed at the faith of the Egyptians. Was their reverence misplaced? Was the Jackal God a benevolent shepherd or a terrifying puppeteer, manipulating the fate of the dead for his own unknown purposes? Deep within the hidden chambers of the Necropolis, rumors swirled of a forbidden scripture, the Black Book of Anubis. Whispers claimed it held the secrets of the Imiut Fetish, detailing how Anubis could bend the very fabric of the underworld to his will. It spoke of a ritual where, under a blood-red moon, the Jackal God could tip the scales in favor of the damned, condemning innocent souls to an eternity of servitude or worse. The mere thought sent shivers down the spines of the high priests. Was Anubis not simply a judge, but a trickster god, playing a cosmic game with the souls of the deceased? Was the weighing of the heart a mere formality, a stage play for the recently departed, while Anubis, with his otherworldly perception, held the true power to decide their destinies? Fear turned to a chilling certainty when a series of unsettling events began to plague the necropolis. Unexplained shadows danced in the flickering torchlight of the tombs. Unearthed mummies stirred in their wrappings, their vacant eyes filled with an unnatural hunger. The wails of the damned echoed through the halls, more frequent and more desperate than ever before. Then, on a night when the moon bled crimson across the desert sky, a young apprentice priest, driven by a morbid curiosity, stumbled upon a hidden chamber. Its entrance was masked by a crumbling inscription depicting a jackal with glowing red eyes, its jaws agape, as if to devour a hapless soul. Inside, the air hung heavy with the stench of decay and ancient magic. Walls were adorned with chilling hieroglyphs depicting scenes of torment and suffering. In the center of the chamber, upon a blackened altar, lay the Black Book of Anubis, its leather cover embossed with the image of a snarling jackal. Panic seized the apprentice as he realized the truth. Anubis was not the benevolent guardian he appeared to be. He was a dark deity, a manipulator of fate, who used the necropolis as his own twisted domain. The Black Book pulsed with an evil power, threatening to unleash even greater horrors upon the unsuspecting dead. The apprentice knew he had to act. He snatched the Black Book, the weight of it heavy in his trembling hands. As he fled the chamber, a monstrous growl echoed behind him. He dared not look back, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. He had to get the book to the high priest, to expose Anubis' true nature and find a way to seal the power within the Black Book before it was too late. But as he raced through the labyrinthine tunnels of the necropolis, a chilling realization dawned on him. Was he truly escaping, or had he merely become another pawn in Anubis' game? The Jackal God's enigmatic gaze seemed to follow him from the shadows, a silent promise of a terrifying reckoning to come. The fate of the necropolis, and perhaps the very balance between the living and the dead, now hung in the precarious balance between a terrified apprentice priest and a power-hungry god of the underworld.